when it comes to Grand Slam track, I have to admit the Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone situation is evolving. And yes, we are talking about the short hurdles. And Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone is a part of that conversation. So, with that being said, she is running the short hurdles group. And when I first heard that she was going to do it, I'll be honest, I didn't think all that much about it. And then something hit me. They run a 100 and the 100 hurdles. And we don't ever see her in a 100, but we kind of want to know what it's going to be now. So for that reason, we're talking about the women's short hurdles. Ackera Nugent is coming back. Slam champion Ackera Nugent. Slam champion Danielle Williams is coming back.
Yes, she's here.
Like this is a real field.
This is here. Tia Jones is coming back. She's been in both slams. So this is a field. This is a very strong field.
So
Like, oof.
let's start there. I mean, let's start with just the general conversation. Like the elephant in the room is Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone entered the room. So so with that in mind, what are we expecting to see? Because we know what we've seen all these other women face off. And
Mm.
the women's hurdles, I've given them credit. Like they face off and they race. I feel like we do get to see them race. But what do we do with this?
Well, so the thing that I'm thinking about is because to your point, these women always race. Like they are always racing, whether it's this combination or a different combination. It's like they're always competing against each other. What I'm interested to see is how do they respond to Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone just entering the field? Because I feel like her presence in the field may shift things. Because even if she doesn't have like on paper, she doesn't run faster than any of these athletes. Like her best is 12.65 from a couple years back. All these athletes have run faster, and most of them actually have run faster even just this year. But I think Sydney's presence might shift how people do respond. I could be wrong. I don't know, but at least in the 100 hurdles, right? Even before getting to the 100, where I think she could do something special there. But in the 100 hurdles, I think I'll be. I wonder how people are going to respond to just her being in the field, lined up in whatever lane, in one of those middle lanes, like how people respond. But then that leads to a question like, where do we think Sydney is actually going to finish in the 100 hurdles? Like, do we think, like, how many of these people do we actually think she's going to be able to beat? Because again, she's not faster than actually any of these people, like on paper. She's just not.
Hmm.
So,
Well, it is the hurdles and strange things
yeah,
happen. Let's start
true,
there.
true.
So this isn't an open 200. So when you say that out loud, it's like, well, I'll say if Sydney can finish even inside the top six in the 100
Mm,
hurdles, because at this point what I'm really watching for is for her to win the 100.
yeah,
That's what I'm
that
watching for. I mean, again, that's the real that she's gonna mix it up with the 100 hurdles. She might run a PR for all we know.
she could
It's
she
long and it's
could.
been long enough from the time she ran a 100 hurdles. She didn't agree to go into this thing blind. I
That's
have
that's
just
true.
too
She
much
knew.
confidence in her that like she been putting in work. So
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
result, like she might go out there run a PR. Let's say she come out there and run 12:48.
Well, okay. If she runs 12.48 though, I don't even know that. Okay, that probably can get her top six. But like these women are fast. I mean, we can go like
I mean, but we talking about this race
this
because
race.
like we just saw Atlanta where Kenny Harrison goes 12:3, Tia Jones goes 12:3, 12:4 in their first race, 12:3, 12:3 high, 12:3 mid, whatever. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Like if we're
yeah.
being 100% of honest, like yes, we see those 12 ones, but like let's not forget that like when somebody's running American record level times and stuff, they're the reason why they have record at the end of it. It ain't an everyday occurrence. So like
That's
I'm not gonna
true.
grade on a curve because of that. I'm gonna say that that happened.
That's true. I guess I'm thinking like even like yeah, let's take Atlanta for example, where yeah, like Akira Nugent, Tia Jones, they were both there. Like in theory, that was like their bad day, right? Like Tia Jones runs 12.3, coming off, she ran 12.19 in Miami. She runs 12.3 in Atlanta. That's in theory like not a good day for her on paper. Sydney's not beating that. Like As like talented as she is, like she's not dropping down to 12-3. Like, and
No,
even
probably
getting
not.
to 12-4 is like that's a big drop. Even for the past couple years, that's a big drop. But so that's where I'm struggling to see where she can finish in this field. Like top six is pop because even like we have Tania Marshall who's in this field too. She just ran like she has a personal best of 12-3, but she just won the Tokyo Continental Tour in 12-5. And it's like, she's probably getting better. That's where I'm like, I don't know how well Sydney is gonna finish in these hurdles. Maybe top six.
Yeah, well,
Maybe.
I'm just not I'm just not relegating her to the back. That's all I'm saying. That like she's gonna mix it up. When the race is
Mm.
done, she's going to compete.
Still
I
could
just
be.
not competed in like I tried. Competed in like when it's over and you see the finish, she'll be like she was in there. So now it's gonna be like she was again, she could be sixth, she could be fifth, she could be seventh. I mean, like if because he like well, okay. We're trying to talk about the point scores. So let's be
Yeah.
100% honest. How many points do we think it's going to take to win this group?
I mean, so no one is getting 24 here. Like that's just not
That's
happening.
out.
No one is sweeping this event. Maybe I can imagine someone like Ackera Nugent maybe getting 20. Like if she win, like in theory, let's say she wins the 100, she gets 12 points, and then in the 100 hurdles, she finishes second and gets 8 points. Maybe she can get 20, but that's even tricky. So it'll probably be 18 or less points. I forget what Akira won it with last time, but I think she actually might have won it with 18 points because she got third in the 100 hurdles. So I'd probably say 18 or less will probably win it.
I mean, yeah, 18 or less, I agree. I'm like, for Sydney to win this slam, like, I'm game planning now. I don't think she's going to in almost any realm. However, the realm that does exist for her to win is if this field is as close as we say it is, if this field is as competitive as we say it is, then you need 2 to 3 people who ain't supposed to be near the top to be at the top in the short hurdles. Meaning people who don't have flat speed need to be at the
Mhm.
top in that.
Well, so okay, so on paper, at least we know someone like Tia Jones. Tia Jones at in both Kingston and Miami, she did terrible in the 100.
So if she wins the
Though
100 hurdles, that's perfect. That's best case scenario.
that's good for Sydney, right?
Yeah.
But then it gets tricky after that because now you have Akira Nugent, who could she won the 100 last time. Danielle Williams, she won the 100 in Kingston, right?
Yeah,
So
they need to finish towards the bottom.
they need to finish towards the bottom. But
In order for there to be for a world to because here's the thing because see I'm thinking again I'm writing the movie I'm making the movie in my head I'm making the movie in my head. Sydney's already cemented in her actual event.
yeah, that's
I'm at
for
this
yeah.
point, I just want it to be like I think she's already done enough to be the greatest of this generation on the women's side. And again, you can make arguments for
Mm.
other athletes. You could. It's just that you can make a pretty good one for her. She
There's a
has
decent
complete
argument.
she has completely redefined an entire event. So much so that if she walked off the track tomorrow, we would just have to get used to watching people be slow. Because she redefined what it meant to run the 400 hurdles as a woman. She took people with her to places we've never seen human beings go. Like people, I really do believe that people went into training because she existed. Like
Yeah,
their
yeah.
mindset was, now I know that it's possible to do that. It's just like, again, like when somebody does something for the first time and you're like, oh, I didn't know we could do a 900 on a skateboard. But now that I know it's a thing, I
Mm.
can now work on it. I didn't know we could run that fast. But now that someone
Yeah.
has shown that it's possible, we just got to unlock the secrets before you don't even train for it. You don't even think it's a thing.
Yeah, it's like this thing doesn't exist. Like this is just not
Yeah.
possible. So there's no point.
Yeah.
Like it's not
So,
possible.
I mean, with that in mind, like as we look at the short hurdles field, because we watched these women face off before. I mean, shout out to, is it The Taji?
Yeah, Ditaji Kambunji. She
Yeah.
actually
Like,
she actually
cause I know
won.
Kambunji, I know her last name is, but that's her sister,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Her
It's
sister is
Mujinga Singh.
Mujinga
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the 100 and the 200. But Ditaji just got silver at World Indoors, and she won the world's or she won the European indoor champs in the 60 and almost broke the world record there. And she made the not last year at the Olympics in 2023, she made the final in the 100 hurdles. So she's another one who's like super quality. Like she's quality. Like that's the tricky part. Even even someone like Christina Clemens, I think this year she's already I forget. I think she's run like 12.6 this year. She has a personal best of like 12.4. Like I obviously Sydney is coming into this event and we're kind of like gaming out like how can she win? But it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Well, let's see. Do you think let's talk about that 100. Like, do you think Sydney is going to win the
Yes.
100? You think she's gonna win?
Because I feel like betting. Did you think she was going to win the 200 in LA?
No, I didn't. Last year I didn't.
And then she did.
That's true.
And
That's
it wasn't like
true.
she won it at the line. She just went out and won it.
Yeah, she blew the field
And
apart.
people always want to say, oh, the training and where they were in their season. You think she wasn't training? You think Sydney wasn't training? She was sure enough wasn't training for a 200. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, yeah.
And she won it anyway. So,
Mm,
like, I promise you, that was not like her. It's not like she trained the whole first half of the season before LA and said, we're going to win the 200 in LA. Then we'll focus on the 400 hurdles. That's not what they did. So, now that we know the speed is evidenced through that, that now comes over to my understanding of what the 100 is going to be, which is,
mm.
I mean, yeah, it's her and Akira Nugent and Danielle Williams for that matter,
Yeah,
all going at it. I expect them to leave the field and the field will be running for whatever. But do I, here's a simple question. Before Grand Slam, if I asked you who's going to win in a 100, Danielle Williams or Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, who would you have taken?
before Grand Slam. I mean, I would have picked Sydney, definitely.
And I'm not changing my answer now. I'm not
Hey,
changing it now.
hey.
So that's
I
12 points that
oof,
I'm gonna give her. And now she just got to pick up something in the other event to make it work. Like this could be the one
yeah.
slam where somebody wins with 16 and it could be her.
That's true. It could happen. It could
That's why I said
happen.
it's just because the fields are, it's just that like if Akira Nugent come out and, and if Akira Nugent and Danielle Williams get to the top of that pile in the 100 hurdles, then then Sydney ain't gonna be a slam champion. She ain't supposed to be slam champion. I just think her winning, even winning the boss battle, wouldn't be as big as winning this to me.
Yeah, yeah. This
Like
this is like
this is the thing that
this
like
is her boss battle in a sense. Like this is her. All right,
like
I gotta work for this.
yeah, but that's the fun part, which is like it doesn't feel like we ever get to watch Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone race. I feel like we
Yeah,
get to watch her again. She's doing what if you know anything about CrossFit, you know, Tia Claire Toomey became the queen of CrossFit. She just won multiple championships and just ripped it off. Once she figured out how to win, it was over. And you were no longer competing with her. You were working out with her. She was doing her thing and you were there. And you knew her thing was to win it. And your thing was to compete against everybody else. And like I think people started having conversations. I'm sure the other competitors started figuring this out when she starts winning three in a row. And it's like you're coming to the
mm,
final day of competition because it's a multi-day competition, and you look at the boards and you're like, it's over.
yeah.
And you trained all year to be the fittest in the world, and Sydney became that where you're not racing her anymore. So now it's like I'm excited. I'm like, we get to watch her race.
I know. We get to see real competition, which is good.
Like like
Ugh,
like
man.
nothing against the other athletes. I'm saying like we get to see what it's like for her to actually go in, and it's a real open-ended competition.
Yeah.
So, but
So
she ain't
for
joined this
me,
to lose.
no, of course she's gonna work. She's gonna like put her all out there to compete and try and win. But like for me, I I'm picking Akira to still win the 100 just based off what we saw from her in Miami. Like I can't pick against her in that 100. Like I think I have her winning the whole slam again. I think she's going to do well enough in the 100 hurdles. She may surpass. I don't think she's going to win the 100 hurdles. I still have Masai and Tia. Maybe Tia will beat Masai, but I think Akira is going to win that 100. Sydney, I can't predict any times, obviously. I don't know, but I think Sydney will be close as well as Daniel will be close. But I think Ackera is just she's rolling. She's rolling. And like she has Jamaican trials in June. Like she has to like really start to she's already been, doing well, but she has to like ramp up and be ready for her trials. So I think Ackera is gonna take the slam and take the 100 ahead of Sydney.
I
That's what I'm
mean,
looking
you
at.
could be right, but I'm gonna just ask you one question. What do you think Akira Nugent's 200-meter PR is?
I'll take a guess. I'll say 22-7.
Never broke 23.
Never broke 20. Well,
Now, granted, she doesn't run it hardly ever. But my point is, we're throwing stuff at the wall. We saw Sydney go 22-0 legal in a race
yeah.
in a race with other fast people though. That's the thing. It wasn't a time trial like what they be doing down in Claremont. It was like
Yeah.
it was like we saw a real field and her in the front. And what that told me is, wait, okay, look, I'm a I'm gonna actually pull it up while we're talking, and
Hmm.
because I want to see the footage. I want to know
The
what
actual
she.
footage.
I want to know. I'm gonna edit it and put it on the screen. When people see it, I want to know what she looked like at the turn.
She was strong. She got out really strong and I forget exactly, but she like kind of, pulled off the curve very strong. I mean, well, I know I look at the footage, but like
Cause
I don't
that, cause
know.
that's, cause that's the litmus test. How did she look when she came out the turn? Because if she's beating them out the turn, stop playing with her.
Okay.
She's
Well,
beating them out the turn. It's not
it,
close.
it's true,
She
but
had a no, 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 bro. It's not. It's true. She had body links between her and Jenna Prandini, Gabby Thomas,
hmm
Abby Steiner,
Brittany Brown
Brittany
was in there.
Brown.
Yep.
She had like it wasn't even like close. And
I
that
mean,
tells me stop playing with her. She might lose this 100. However, if you run this 100 more than once, she's gonna win one of those.
what? You only get to run it once.
I hear you. I'm just saying,
Like
like, if I got to make a choice, I'm taking her. That's 12 points. Now we just got to see what happened in the hurdles.
that's fair. That's fair. I mean, for me, it's like I've seen Akira in the 100. She ran 11:0. Even if her 200 isn't as strong, it's like we've seen she's run 11:09 now twice in her career. Once a couple years back, and then once literally just at the last Grand Slam. And even at the first Grand Slam, her and Danielle Williams were like neck and neck in that 100, where Danielle got the win there. So I know Akira is proven against this field of women, like against all these women, of course, except Sydney, but against all these women in the 100. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm
Bro,
looking at.
you do realize that Sydney did run the 100 in college, right?
She ran a windy time, right? I think she has a windy time.
Do you know
Well,
what the
I
time
forget.
was?
I forget. Was it like 11:1 or 11:2 or something like that?
11:07.
It was windy though,
I
right?
don't know what the wind is. I'm not looking at that. I'm just looking at.
No,
I'm like, it doesn't say that because
it
I'm
was
on.
no, it
I'm on
was windy.
mile split, so they just have
I,
different stuff archived. But
I
what I'm
know for a
trying to,
fact it was a
whether
windy
it what,
time.
do you think she's faster today than she was then?
I mean, she is, but
I'm just,
like,
I'm. I mean, hey, we're spending a lot of time on this just because I'm like, we about to find out, right?
yeah.
About
I
to
mean, we're in
find
a fight.
out.
This is good. This
And,
is good
and
though.
but that's what
This
I'm
is
saying. Like the when it is something about athletes who they show you something where it's like you start picking against them, and then I have this moment where I just wake up and it's like, wait a minute, why am I picking against you? You're giving me no reason to believe that other people are going to beat you anymore. The 100 hurdles, there's the arguments to be made over there. But in the open 100, I understand recency of we just saw Akira Nugent, but now if you tell me, that's why I'm looking back. Like I'm looking back at because I mean she ran 22:0 in the 200 in college
yeah,
outdoors. She was in the indoor final in the 200 at the
yeah.
NCAA's. She was, and again, we're talking about flat sprinting, like in the 100. She ran 11:07. And again, you said it was windy. I'm like, I don't know how many times she ran it.
No, she only has.
Um,
That's the only 100 she's ever run, even going back to high school. I know that for a fact. Like, and maybe she ran it in high school, but I don't think like the stats have come up on it. But I know for a fact that's the only 100 she's ever run in a
Okay,
college.
it was wind assisted, but I'm looking at the field. Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you in that race because like they have the field here of like on
Uh,
that day when she ran 2018, only JV and Oliver beat her by she was in the same heat and beat her by 300th of a second.
well, I mean,
Isn't she an Olympian?
well, this is 2018 though.
No, no, she was
That's
running
like
for Nike at that time. She wasn't running in college.
well, but this is 3 years before Javen Oliver became even a name. Like this is 2018. Javen Oliver became like an actual talent in 2021. Like this is years before.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, I'm just saying she was on the track with somebody who went to the games for America
Years later. I mean, because at that point,
in the 100.
Sydney was also like this next level athlete at that point too.
Yeah,
So
not in
we're
the
talking about a
100.
different time.
Yeah, so but not at the end of the day, what we're discussing this is the fun of the slams because
Yeah, this
with
is
the
good.
100 with the women's 100 hurdles, like that field has made it so that there's some degree of parity between them. However, what the slams is starting to do is show us who is and is not at the top, but it keeps getting washed out because there's two events. So as a
Yeah,
result, you can't just win the one. Like Tia Jones had a great day, and then it was followed up by another day, and it
yeah,
restructured how we remember everything. And
yeah,
that's why
yeah,
this is the first time I'm doing it in reverse because I've caught on that the women's short hurdles to me for who wins is no longer about winning the 100 hurdles. It's about having
yeah.
enough points. And since the points are equal on both ends, this is the slam that they gave us.
It's true.
I
It's true.
mean, I'm like, I don't think I ever processed it like this until this time. Because
Mm.
if Sydney wasn't here, then I'd probably be right there with you and say Akira is going to get it. I, but you know,
Well, so all right. So what do you think? Like, do you have a top three that you put down for this field?
I'm
Like,
not
are
gonna.
you looking at Sydney as taking the overall slam win
No,
for the short hurdles?
no, I'm not that bold. I'm not that bold, but just because of the overall point scores, I think you still have to have her in your top three. So I'm gonna give it third.
Mm.
I think that's what's actually gonna happen. Akira Nugent, I'll join you and take her first. I was just giving you a hard time, but like
No, they're fair arguments. They're very fair arguments because yeah, when you look at things, it's fair arguments. Um,
I'm gonna go Akira Nugent, Danielle Williams, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone when it's all done.
it's all done. For
On the
me,
strength of the 100, that's why.
on the strength of the 100, yeah, no, that makes sense. For me, because I don't have Sydney winning the 100, and like again, going back to my original argument, like it's tough for me to even pick her against a lot of these hurdlers. Maybe sixth place, maybe, but like I have Akira Nugent. I think Tia Jones. I have Akira Nugent, Tia Jones, and Masai Russell in my top three, and then Daniel and
So you're,
Sydney
so you're betting on
somewhere.
Tia Jones and Messiah Russell winning the 100 hurdles.
Yeah, I think Tia Jones is going to win the 100 because Tia Jones was close to Masai in Miami. It was like essentially negligible. She did pretty well in Atlanta, even though she lost. Like that was like a all due respect to that meet, it was a side mission for a lot of these athletes. Like it is what it is.
It
So
was a side mission.
yeah, so I think Tia and Masai are going to show up again in the hurdles. They won't do well in the or relatively in the 100, but I think that'll be enough. So Akira, Tia, Masai, and then Sydney. I just can't give it to Sydney. Like I can't put her in my top three just based off the strength of the hurdles, and I don't have her win the 100. So,
That's
but
fair.
she don't mix it up. She don't mix it up.
Yeah. Well, okay, that's fair. Well, okay. Pivoting to the long hurdles, then.
Yeah,
Let's just say this much because we've got Anna Cockrell and
yeah.
Dalilah Muhammad. I mean, Dalilah Muhammad is coming back, but Anna Cockrell. People have been asking in the comments, is Anna Cockrell going to show up in the women's long hurdles? She's here
She's
now.
here. She's here.
So, what are you seeing with this field? And Jasmine Jones, we're going to finally get to see her in
Yeah, it
the
looks like
slam.
she'll be back. I think Anna Cockrell. I mean, I think I want to say Dalila, but like Anna Cockrell, I think she's going to take the, especially she's going to take the slam. I think Anna Cockrell will take the slam. I could see Shamir Little also doing maybe in the top three, maybe second or third, because I feel like Shamir could win the 400. She is by far the best 400 sprinter in this field, even with someone like Anna or even Dalila, who's run good 400s, but Shamir is just like too much. So I think Anna, Shamir and Delilah, that's probably like my top three out of all the women.
By the way, I know we just got on this.
Mm.
Huge shout out to Anna Hall
Oh
for what
yeah,
she
from
did
Miami.
in that slam because you have like to put it all in perspective as a multi-event athlete.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, she ain't really a multi-event athlete. She's just an all-world athlete who
Yeah.
does the hep because what y'all gonna do? Like
She's dangerous.
that's how it feels. Because I didn't think she was gonna go top three in that slam.
Neither did
I
I.
passed her, and then because it wasn't even because she
Oof.
was top three in both events.
Yeah, in the 400 and the 400 hurdles. She
That's
was
why,
good.
yeah. So I was like, at that point, like she just rewrote the narrative on what it actually is. Like again, we have some. I mean, when we're looking at this field, I don't think we have one of those. Anna Cockrell, she ran the 100 hurdles in high school, in college. Like she did both. So like, and you see combo hurdlers, you see that.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
like, I'm saying like just rewriting the narrative of like what you actually are. It's like just like Tim Tebow with a football player. What's his position? Football player. Like he was playing quarterback, but his position was football player.
Yeah, he did
That like
everything.
Anna Hall, like what's her position? What's her event? Track athlete, track and
Yeah.
field athlete.
Track and field. Like she is track and field, right?
Like
Like
yeah, like if we needed to pick representatives for the sport, like she'd go right up there with Sydney, who's not in this. So I'm gonna go off this. Yes, I'm taking Anna Cockrell to start because of what last season was, and I also whenever I see athletes, this is where the connection in my head. Like when I see athletes who are talented across multiple events,
mhm.
I just start, kind of like I give them more grace because the talent kind of starts to win itself out. So where do you see Dalilah Muhammad finishing in all of this then?
I think she'll be my overall top three. I probably have her second in the hurdles because like she finished second to Sydney in Kingston. She actually did really good in Kingston in overall because she got second place overall, but she got second place specifically behind Sydney. And then she's run pretty well on the circuit too. I think Anna has I forget exactly, but Anna and Dalila are like the two fastest in this field in the hurdles for the year. But Anna, I think, just broke like I mean, it's not an official event, or it is what it is, but she broke the American record in the 300 hurdles earlier this year. Like she's just on one. So I have Anna and Dalila probably 1-2 in the hurdles, but I think Shamir Little will do well in the 400 and like decent enough in the 400 hurdles that she'll probably get into my top three as well, like overall top three.
Hmm.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Shamir Little thing is a situation because we know what her talent is. I also know that she was coming off of injury.
yeah. She had
So it's sort
injury.
of like picking the slams. It's like, well, if it's Shamir Little running the way in which we have come to know her to run, then yeah, you put her in there. Like it is what it is. But if it's not that, if she's still kind of like finding her footing, then that could mess it up because like at the end of the day, these slams, like the names that people don't recognize, all those athletes are coming to play. Because
Yeah,
that's why when the racers do hold serve, that's what I call it, where they just go one, two, three, four. It requires them to prove why they're that good. They're not just waltzing in there. This isn't no shade to the Continental Tour, but this ain't some of those fields.
it's not. It's not. It's not. It's really not.
Like, because some of those fields are like, a lot of local athletes from that host nation, and then a few extra athletes, and then like the headliner. This is not that. Like everybody's
Nah.
better than like a lot of the core of those fields.
Yeah.
And they're coming with like, oh, this is a slam.
Yeah.
They got money
Yeah.
on the line. Because these are people who can appreciate that money,
Exactly.
especially however it
Exactly.
converts to their nation. Like they like, look, I can appreciate this, so let me, make sure that I give it my best effort. But yeah, I'm going Anna Delilla from like 1-2,
hmm
and we got to pick a third. I'm still just gonna just hold with Shamir Little. I know Rochelle Clayton is coming back. Shout out to her
Yeah.
'cause she missed Miami,
She was
but
Miami. I
and
mean,
she that kind of puts her somewhat in the same boat as Shamir Little as far as like, just what kind of we don't know exactly how training mechanisms and everything may have shifted around compared to actually running on these days back to back.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And like only for the purposes of because at the Miami Slam, Andrew Knight, she actually did very well. She got second to Sydney overall, both in the 400 hurdles or she finished third in the 400, but she got second overall. So Andrew Knight could be someone here to surprise, but I think just off the strength, it's like Anna. I think she's too powerful, and then Dalila also probably and Shamir. I think those three are like they're holding things down. They're holding things down for me at least for sure.
Hey, hey, I
Yeah.
respect it. I respect it.
My name is Anderson from the Final Leg.
And I'm Coach Rob from SCA Track and Field. And thank you for watching this segment from the finish line.
If you want to know what's really going on at the high school and college level, be sure to subscribe to Coach Rob Track and Field.
And if you want more content on the best track and field athletes in the world, be sure to subscribe to the Final Leg.